Hey, welcome back to KM Van Life and an overcast Derbyshire, though the sun is trying to come out. We've got a couple of days of dry weather forecasted, so we're going to attempt to fit the skylight in the back of the van.
So we're going to have a skylight in the back of the van because that's going to be over the sleeping area where our bed's going to be, and it's going to enable us to have a vent open in the evening to get some fresh air in. Up at the front of the van where the kitchen area is going to be, we're going to have an extractor fan, and that's going to hopefully deal with all the cooking smells that we generate when we're doing some cooking in the van if the weather's bad with the windows and doors shut. So we've already got the two channels on the roof running front to back. This is the one that I'm going to cut in half. This is a 3 metre. I'm going to cut it in half. We can put that widthways, put a piece of board on it, and that's going to give me a platform to work on to get the vent put in the back. Right, let's get this bad boy cut. Okay, so I'm up on top of the roof of the van now. We've got a couple of uni struts running from left to right. Attach those to the front to back ones. And I put a bit of board on there, which is going to give me a little platform just to sit and work on for the few minutes I'm up on the van. That means I'm not putting any pressure or weight on the roof of the van itself and damaging any of the seals. So the vent I've actually got for the back of the van comes in two parts. On the right hand side we have the exterior, which has the dome covering on it, and on the inside we have the interior, which has the blackout screen and the mosquito net. So in order to sandwich these two, I'm going to need to make up a wood collar that sits on the inside. So I've already done this. So this wood collar, let me just turn the outside fan over. So I drill a hole, I cut a hole in the roof of the van. I put this through, imagine this is upside down. The roof of the van is going to be here. Then this wood collar goes over on the inside of the van. And then that's secured by using these little brackets, which then screw into the wood, sandwiching the van skin between the wood and the plastic of the actual vent itself. This then attaches on the inside, like so, screws into the wood collar and gives you your blackout and your mosquito net. So what we've got to do now is cut a bloody great big hole in the roof of my van. Let's crack on. So I've marked up on the roof where the van's going to go, on the ceiling of the van. I've used the batten that I've made, the frame that I've made to squeeze between the fan and the skin of the van to use that as my template. I've taped it up into the roof of the van, and now I'm going to drill 4 holes in my perfectly good roof, not in the slightest bit nervous at all. There we go. Everything else now we do on top. So prior to actually cutting the roof out, we've taped a bag on the inside. 1 to catch the pieces of metal and 2 to catch any of the swarf that comes off of the cutting. Okay, I've got the 2 pilot holes, the 4 pilot holes which I made from the inside. I've used that to mark the line, which you've already seen. I've put the masking tape down to protect the paintwork of the paint that's going to be staying on the outside. Now I'm going to drill 4 larger holes near the corner, which allows me to get my jigsaw blade in. Then I should be able to cut the hole out. We can then make sure everything fits, make good the hole, and hopefully get it all fitted. More holes in the roof of a perfectly good van. So I'm using a brand new blade because I want a nice clean cut. Here we go. Perfectly good piece of metal from a perfectly good roof of a van. Oh well, never mind. Okay, well that's the hole done. I'm going to take the masking tape off. I'm going to use my file just to deburr all the edges. Then we're going to go over the edges with some Hammerite to make sure we don't get any rust or corrosion. I'll then clean up the surface of the van with some isopropyl alcohol so we get a nice good bond with the butyl tape, and then we're going to start layering up the tape to cover with these ridges. Let's get at it. Okay, so that's all the edges nice and filed off and smoothed off. We haven't done the hammerite yet. I'm just going to do a quick dry fit and see how well it fits. Into that corner, yeah? Cool. Okay, so that fits fine. So all we need to do now is build up the build up the butyl tape around here, and then we should be able to get this mounted, put the ring in the bottom and get it screwed into the bottom, and it should be waterproof. Fingers crossed. So I've started to build up the butyl tape around the ridges in the top of the van. I've had a first attempt. I'm going to try and dry fit this now, screw it down, see where it leaves marks, and that should give me an indication as to where I need to build up the tape a little more. So we can see by screwing down the inside, it's compressed the butyl tape which we layered underneath here. Thankfully we didn't take the tape off the top, the backing paper, so it's just basically looking to see how well it's compacting, and I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. I think by the time we get some 522 on there, it'll seal onto the butyl tape and we should be good to go. Happy days. This comes out. Yeah, we can see the marks where it's left marks pretty much all the way round. So I think by the time we get our Sikaflex in there, I think we're going to be pretty good to go. So we've now got the vent in on the top, secured at the bottom. I'm just going to run a bead of mastic around to cover up all of any potential leak points. And fingers crossed, once it's done, we should have a perfectly good seal. I'm going to push it a little bit underneath where there is a gap, just to make sure that there's no chance for any water to get in there. If I have to come over it again, so be it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is give it a quick spray with a little bit of soapy water, which means I can then run my finger along it. And anywhere I'm missing, I can wait until that dries and I can just put a little further dab on it, and away we go. Okay, so that's all the masticing done on the roof. All I'm going to do now is put the inside vent cover up to show you what it looks like. Obviously we can't fit this finally yet because we haven't had the roof of the van, the ceiling of the van go in yet, but that will fit in just like that, and we have the blackout blind on one side, mosquito net on the other. And once we've got the roofing of the van done, then obviously that will be offered up and it'll make that all look good. Well, that about wraps up the roof vent on the back of the van. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Press the bell notification to be notified when I put more videos up. Stay tuned guys, there's more to come. See you on the next one. Cheers guys.